All right, family. Black Power with the Truth Hour with General Sarasun said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is. Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that frequency, that energy? You should most definitely become a member. The link right down in the video description and it's in the chat. Click that link. You get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence at the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. kingseti.com, 25% off selected items at this time. Shop and save, save and shop, family. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University. We talking about over 1,200 videos of nothing but pure heat. Fire presented by General Seti himself, all the subjects that you know and love from the General. Yes, indeed. Plus, we got the supplemental, also monumental and instrumental research material from the Grandmaster teachers. I give you an overview on that material, giving you 360 degrees of supreme African academic wisdom and knowledge that cannot be compared to by any other website on the planet. Enroll today, get access to that fire. Everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise, we never calm. Exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube, but just so exquisite. We keep it for our family on Patreon. We got nothing but that fire, that truth. I'm dropping 2 live streams tonight. You get a lot of exclusive, obscure topics. You get a chance to see the General live. You get a chance to see the General with that hot sauce. And I know that's what you want. We take it up 2-3 notches on Patreon. So get over there today and gain access to that treasure chest of wisdom and knowledge. And to all my family out there, donate to the General. I want to thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate me. Any of the family out there appreciate the General and would like to donate to the General. The link is right down in the video description. Click that link, donate, and I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. You'll be up out of there. Now, we are talking about why the Egyptian god Set is older than Osiris, Horus, and Amun-Ra. I know we call on all the great gods, but somehow we have left out one of the most monumental. And as I start doing my studies, I say, wow, it just shows you how African history been chopped up and just, they didn't just put together whatever the fuck they wanted to put together and call it African history. We got to throw that garbage in the incinerator immediately. You understand what I'm saying? Because, we don't, not only do we don't know the half, man, I mean, thank the ancestors for, many of our teachers, but, I want to give a shout out to Professor Walter Williams, who really came and flipped the goddamn table over. You see, on a lot of people. You understand? Though we have many master teachers, and our credit, it's just like a chessboard. You see what I'm saying? You got, you got all you need the necessary, pieces on the board. You understand what I'm saying? You need all the necessary pieces, and you'd be surprised what piece is, most dangerous in a game. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be the pawn, it could be the rook, it could be the knight, it could be the bishop, it could be the king, It could be the queen. It could be any one of the players on the board. You see what I'm saying? Understand that. And so, you know, it's not one scholar, but all the scholars that are necessary. And he was one that was necessary because he came like a Brillo pad. You understand what I'm saying? And scrubbed a lot of shit off, you know, off the chalkboard. You see what I'm saying? And it hurt a lot of feelings, but I think that was necessary because it's a lot of shit that's standard out there that's just not the truth. Ain't even close to being the truth. Just a flat out lie. And so, you know, even in my early studies of the God set, and just frequency. You know, when I hear set, I set, why set. You understand what I'm Tassetians. You see, and then, you know, I hear, you know, this deity set, and he's the personification of evil. You see, he's the personification of evil. And then I hear Tassetians, and I hear this great Pharaoh. His name is Seti, and not just Seti. He's not the only one with Set as a personification in his name. You see, many of the pharaohs, and we're gonna deal with. Matter of fact, let me put some work up here. I'm gonna just show you that these niggas don't know what they talking about out here, and you know, we got to acknowledge that too. We got to acknowledge that. I should have had that up already. I don't know why. Why it ain't up? Got so many. Where's set at? Let me get set up here. I posted already. There you go. Let me get the roll. Close some of these down. Close some of these down. Okay, here we go. Lower set. Here we go. Lower set. Here we go. We're gonna work out, family. We're gonna work out. I'm ready to roll. Okay, here we go. Now, looking here. We're looking at the great God Ptah. You see what I'm saying? The creator of the universe, the great architect. Now, he in his possession is holding the most powerful scepter in all of ancient Egypt. And on that scepter is the head of Set. And this scepter is symbolic of power and dominion. You see, power and dominion. So we understand that these are attributes accredited to the great God Set. Okay, so we want to be clear about this. Now, either our lying eyes is deceiving us, or somebody is putting some bullshit in the game. Now, why would they do this? Why would they, knowing that we could see? Now, if you the type of nigga that you gonna listen to everything a Cro-Magnon Neanderthal gonna tell you about, nigga, you ain't got nothing coming. You might as well throw in the towel. You got to have a mind of your own so that you could see these are your ancestors. How you gonna let a goddamn Cro-Magnon Neanderthal interpret your knowledge to you? Okay, so this is the Wa scepter. You see, and you see here, you see the great God Set here with the Wa scepter in his hand, and you see him holding the Ankh, which is the symbol of eternal life. How the hell that's like the goddamn devil walking around with a cross, or the devil walking around with an Ankh. How the fuck is a demon or a devil gonna give you eternal life? Fool, you got to wake up. You got to see this for yourself. Some of this is, and like I said, you ain't just got you got the veil ain't over the information. The veil is over your goddamn mind. A lot of times when we say esoterical and we say there's a veil, and sometimes it's hidden, but it's hidden in plain sight. If you got a veil over your own goddamn mind, you can't see shit. And that's the reality. So we see here Set with the Wa scepter, which we already acknowledge is power and dominion. That Set has power and dominion. Okay, carried in the tomb of Tutmosis III. And Tutmosis III, who conquered more land than any other pharaoh in the history of ancient Egypt. Under this pharaoh, the borders of Egypt were at its greatest extent. And he highly venerated this god, this great god Set. And Set was even shown to be teaching Tutmosis III how to shoot the bow, which was a very powerful weapon amongst the Tassetians, which we call the Nubians. Okay, where is that depiction of where he's teaching Tutmosis how to shoot the bow? I have it here. I'm not going to look long. That might be it. Is that it right there? That's it right there. That's it right there. Now this is at Karnak, which the temple Karnak is called Ipidasut, which is Set. Now you got to understand that Set, that there is no vowels. Okay, so really it's ST. The transliteration is ST. And so what they do is they fool you by adding the vowels in and they do that across the board. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't become familiar to you. The connection between certain information, deities, cities, you see peoples, you see, they don't want you to become familiar with the connection that's there. So you see right here, Set is actually teaching this great God, this great king of Pharaoh Tutmosis III, who is the greatest as far as military, the greatest pharaoh that ever lived. And you see right there, you see Set is teaching him how to handle the bow and arrow, okay? Which is very important that we understand that. Now, when we have to also understand, and I'm gonna get into that pyramid later, and you can look at some of the Wa scepters, and you can clearly see it is the head of Set. It is. Okay, we're gonna deal with that. So the most powerful scepter of all the ancient Egypt is of the great god Set. Now, let's deal with some. Let me deal with some. Now, in this particular frieze, it shows Set as the defender of Ra. Now, that's one of his titles. Nobody talks about that. That Set is actually in the bark, on the ark of Ra, Harakti. You see, the defender of Ra. Okay, this is a divine deity. Why nobody talking about that? See, why nobody's talking about that? You don't see none of these historical niggas out here talking because they know they're gonna have to see. Walter Williams did something to these niggas. See, they didn't been teaching the wrong way for so long till where it hurt their ego to even try to turn and go the right way. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're gonna have to undo so many years and years of garbage that they didn't taught. And taught it with, you understand, with certainty and with arrogance. You taught it with arrogance and certainty. Now the tables have turned. The people is becoming aware of all the lies and whatever credit and whatever you know, whatever distinction that you feel that you had, you no longer have that. So you had to continue to lie to the people and so on and so forth. So we see here, we see Set as the defender of the great God Ra. You see, nobody talks about that. And so when we talk about the nomes, and I'm gonna deal with this, you know, I'm gonna deal with this, and I got a map for you, and I'm gonna work it quickly, but I'm gonna come back with it on the pyramid when we deal with the pyramids. And you know, we on a no huddle today. And so we talking about now when you talk about the nomes of ancient Egypt, no mean no mean is a county, you see. And so you got 42 no means. And so you know, like I said, it's a county. And so you start in Upper Egypt. The very first nome is Taseti. Did you know that when they start they counting the nomes, that the very first nome is Taseti. You see? So that's very significant that we understand that we start with the great God Set. And nobody, you know, when they, you know, and I hear all this, and do you know, at really no point in time in all my studies have I ever heard, really, I'm gonna be real. And I could have glossed over it. I really never heard any scholar make the connection between the god Set, Taseti. I never heard no scholar really make that connection and say that the Seti in Taseti is in reference to the great god Set, because they didn't taught that he's evil. And so, I mean, and so when they say Taseti, they say it means the land of the bow. And that's all it means. That's all it means. The land of the bow. Okay. And so I don't know no definition. I know the tie. And I'm just, you know, I'm going by what they say it means. And I know the tie means land. And I've never known where Set means bow. I never, you know, in all the definition, I never seen where it means bow. Okay, I just don't know where they get that definition from. You see, and so I've never heard any scholar make the connection between Taseti and Set. But understanding that the first nome, the first county of Upper Egypt is Taseti, and it's counting from the south down to the north. Okay, counting from the south down to the north, showing that the nation is developing with the flow of the river, flowing from the south, the interior of Africa, down north. Now you got 22 nomes in Upper Egypt, you got 20 nomes in Lower Egypt. And when you get to the 20, you see right here, as we clear on, yeah, you can see right there, you can see Upper Egypt, and you see 22, right? And then when you get to Lower Egypt, it start number one, where? At Memphis. So, and then you see number two, you see number three, number four, number five. Now I'm gonna give you a dagger real quick. I'm gonna give you a dagger real quick. Hold up, family. All right, family. Now, here we go. Now, let me throw this dagger at you right quick. Let me throw this dagger at you so you understand this and understand where you got it from. Now, peoples is always talking about, and I see these little part-time historian niggas out here, and this right here is something that you need to put in your repertoire of understanding. When you talking about, let's look here. When they talk about outsiders coming into Africa and establishing the nation of Egypt, and a lot of people say they're not Africans. Well, what the fuck is they then? If they originated and they are original to Africa, they Africans. So you saying they're not Africans. So other words, they come from the outside. Okay, they come from the outside and they establish Egypt. This is what these part-time fake historian niggas out there saying. Let me give you firepower for that. Number one, if the people came from the outside, okay, you know what? But I don't want to do that because I got the pyramid video coming up. So y'all make sure it's in deck. It's in the resume menu. So make sure you get back. I don't want to go too far. And I'm going to explain that. Well, I can touch on it just a little bit, and I'm going to come back and do it anyway because I want you to have this firepower. Now, let me show you something. Let me make sure all my family out there. So you pay attention. Now, when you see how the states in America became states, okay? The British come to America, or we're just going to say what it is, and we know it was something else, but they come to this land. The first place that they landed was on the eastern seaboard. So you see the original 13 colonies, you see are dark purple. You see what date they was established. You see what's that? Is that Georgia? 1788. That look like South Carolina, 1788. Look like that North Carolina, 1789. It looked like, what is that, Maryland? I don't know, Maryland, Virginia, whatever, which one of them. Virginia, 1787. And you see up there, it look like New York, 1787, and so on and so forth. So you see, these are the first states that was established. When a man land and they come from somewhere else, usually where they first land, those are the first establishments. Those are the first settlements that they establish. You hear what I'm saying? And so then you see the next. Okay, you got 13. If you count the next 13 states that come into the Union, you see that they're very close in proximity to the first 13 states. So you see over here, you see, what is it, Pennsylvania? Well, that might be Pennsylvania right there. So I don't know all the damn Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, 1803, Kentucky, 1792, Tennessee, 1796, Louisiana, I believe, 1819, and Michigan, 1837. And then you see Wisconsin, 1848. Then up in there, I believe, what's that? Is that Indiana, 1818? You see, then you see, what is that? Is that, well, as we could see, you could see that based on at least the first, you got 13, and then you count the next 13. It's all moving in sequence and chronology. Yeah, eventually you start to see they jump right on over the, as they got far enough and they got, they really start looking for, land. And so, they jumped over a few states and went to California. But, the first three, you talking about at least the first 30 states are in proximity to the first 13 states, the first 13 colonies. So if outsiders started ancient Egypt, you see right here in Lower Egypt where it starts, Memphis, number 1, you will see that number 1 over here at the door of Egypt. Over here where you see Tanis and Osiris, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be where they came in. You see what I'm saying? That's where they would start to count. Wherever they first established, because they're not going to come in deep to start no god. They ain't going to come in and start their goddamn, because militarily, you want to establish yourself right at the door in case you got to get the fuck up out of there. You ain't too deep in there. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to establish your first colonies right there at the doorway. You see, and then you're going to send scouts in, and they're going to scout it out. If it's cool, they're going to set up more establishments, and they're going to keep doing that. You understand what I'm saying? They'll, once they figure that's cool, they in deeper, they establish colonies there, and, and they'll put soldiers there, and then they'll continue to send out scouts in further into the land. But they're not going to come so deep in to start their original. They don't do that. So just like you looking at here on the map, if they came from the outside, then the first colonies and, of the outsiders will be right here at the door of the nation of Egypt, right there when you come in. So when you see 19, 14, 20 and all that, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you will see that the count, when you got to Memphis, you would have been damn near at 20, because there's only 20 nomes. Now they could have cut and came straight down. You see what I'm saying? They could have cut and came, but that's a long way in. You understand what I'm saying? So you see, even if they came, just say they just bent that damn, came up straight. Even then, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see, so at the minimum, you understand what I'm saying? You probably would have had 10 nomes. And so even if you tried to make a shortcut and say they didn't go no further west than right up in this area and say, okay, they got 9 nomes before they get to Memphis. You still ain't going to start your count 1 at Memphis and you are outside. Your 1 going to be where you first come in. And even then, your count is, you're going to be counting from the north. You're going to be counting from going south. You're not going to be counting from the south coming north. You're going to be counting from the north going south. And so as when you get to Upper Egypt and you start your count again, where you see 22, that's going to be 1. And then where you see Egypt 21, that's going to be 2. And when you get down to Aswan, instead of Tasseti, instead of being where you got Tasseti as number 1, and these are the counts. If you look at this, Tasseti is number 1. But the count is coming from the south going down north. I mean, goddamn. I mean, what type of, it don't take no motherfucking hell of a mathematician to know that. And there's no reason for them to reverse the count. When they started establishing the first colonies and they got the original, it has never changed. It's never changed. You understand what I'm saying? It's never changed. That's where they landed. And so if they came from the outside, then the earlier nomes would have been right there in the entrance of the door of ancient Egypt. You're not going, and so you must understand that. And then understanding that the pyramid, matter of fact, let me do this. And I'm gonna move quickly, and I'm gonna come back to this on set. I'm gonna come back to this set. Because we cracking some, you getting some real teachings here tonight. You ain't gonna motherfucking get this from nobody else. Them niggas is soft. They weak. They ain't gonna teach you nothing like this because they don't know it. Okay. Now, when you look at where the pyramids is at, and then I'm gonna move to the next video, get prepared. I'm gonna cut right into the pyramid. You see the pyramids is right here at Giza. You see what I'm saying? It ain't that far from Memphis. So you see the pyramids is at Giza somewhere. Well, shit, it damn near over here. I mean, shit, it's damn near over there. So this is very critical because the pyramids at Giza are the pinnacle of all pyramid building. At this point, they've reached the pinnacle. You see, right there in what they call Lower Egypt. Okay, which means you got to show where the development is, and it must be south. It must be north of Memphis. It's got to be in the area in which you come in. Okay, because you reach the pinnacle right there at Giza. You see, you can't be coming in from the outside. You understand? And you gonna go all the way south to start development, then come all the way back up north where you started from. That don't make no fucking sense. So now with the pyramids being at their pinnacle at Giza, you got to show the development in between either outside where you came from. Either if you brought the knowledge in with you, then you're going to have to show the source and development from wherever you came from. Show us the development of the pyramid wherever you came from. No nation, no people, nowhere on the planet have ever been able to show the Mesopotamians built with mud. The fucking ziggurats was fucking mud. You cannot show. These are blocks that some of them weigh up to 100 tons. You cannot show no ancient culture that move megalithic stone the way that the Africans move megalithic. It's just impossible. It's so many monuments in ancient Egypt where you got megalithic stone on it. Thousands of damn stones. You see what I'm saying? So we can show on damn near every monument and temple, even if the whole temple, because some of them pharaohs, and I'm gonna move to them, some of them pharaohs, they outer pyramid may have been like a brick, a mud brick. Some of them wasn't, they didn't have as much money. But what they did do was that interior where the king's burial was, that was stone. They would make the burial area made out of stone. You see what I'm saying? So when the shit, even though the outer part of it may not, it may not have been mud brick, it might have still been stone, but it wasn't the large stones. You see what I'm saying? So it fell down. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, that interior, some of them had 100-ton blocks in that shit. You understand? In the king's burial. So you have not been able to show in Mesopotamia, in India, in no other fucking civilization, a civilization that predate Egypt and show that level of advancement nowhere else on the planet. That's period. That's a given. And that's why they look to the outside, to some goddamn alien, because if they had a source that they could readily identify, they would not be talking about no goddamn aliens. They would take the credit for their goddamn self. So anybody that's talking about that the science or the pyramids or this, that, and the third come from outside of goddamn Africa, show in between that pyramid. I don't want you to go south. I don't want you to go south because you're saying that they're not African Okay, then, if they're not African, that means they did not originate in Africa. And so for the fact that the pyramids reached a pinnacle in the north, right there, damn near at the front of the, at the front of the door of Africa, then you have to produce the development between that pyramid and the entrance in which you came. You cannot go south. So all the development must be between that pyramid that you're looking at and Osiris. Where you look over there, you see Tanis and Osiris. You must show the development between Tanis and that goddamn pyramid, and you're not going to be able to do it. You're just not going to be able to do it. You see, all of the development is south of that pyramid. Every stage of it is south of that pyramid. So we are understanding today that this is a whole new dynamic in teaching that you're not going to get nowhere else, family. I'm telling you that. Study with it, and I'm going to touch on this on a greater level as we move forward. Stay with me, family. We just getting started. This is General Sarasun Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Brother L. Suit Typhon, don't go nowhere, family. We're going to be touching on set all week. Don't you go nowhere. Just stay tuned. I just wanted to touch on that. Black power. And you say Suit Tech, Black power.